Hello, my name's Ed Frawley. In this video, you're looking at my new Lund Pro V 1875 and the Bimini top cover that I had made by Canvas Craft in Osteago, Minnesota. Now, they didn't pay me to do this. It's not a paid commercial. I get nothing, no discount or any other thing. I just like the product they sell, and when I have a nice product, I don't mind doing a short video on the product. In this case, I'm doing the video on how to put it up and how to take it down because it's not that intuitive. Now, this company will make any type of Bimini top that you want. In my case, I wanted a lot of windows and I wanted it to be 6 feet tall. I live in Wisconsin and I fish in Canada and North and South Dakota where the weather can change in a heartbeat. This style of Bimini top offers very good protection. A lot of people may not want or like a tall top like this, but in Canada, the weather can change in a heartbeat. On my last trip up there, I was 43 miles from the boat landing, the nearest boat landing. And if you get stuck someplace because of bad weather and you have to get in behind an island, at least you can weather it in comfort if you have a Bimini top like this.
So Ed, this is your fishing top right here. We rate these at 15 to 25 miles an hour. You put your hand on here, when it's all connected, it's really sturdy. I've heard of guys going 35 to 45 miles an hour, but they've actually ripped their windshields right off the glass. So one thing to be careful for, if she's rattle around, either take it down or slow down. Biggest rule of thumb right there. If it's choppy or you got high winds coming at you, that's all gonna have to take into effect there. So I'm gonna undo the walk-through zippers right here. These are double snapped right here, so if it comes undone, just snap it back down. I'm just gonna undo these. You do have Velcro right here, and that's to keep more water from coming in right there. And then you have roll-up snaps, which I'm gonna roll this up once I get this all unsnapped. Cleaning and care of the clear is key. Nothing with ammonia in it, no Windex, nothing like that. Make sure it's Canvas approved vinyl cleaner. Anything else can mar the clear. You're getting a care sheet, it says it on there, but we recommend IMAR. IMAR has really paid off for us. Nothing with vinegar and water, that can mar up the clear. So these just marry up right here. Obviously on a calm day, you can just flop this up and over. Coming in, you got your 6 foot height. You can tell it's nice and spacious in here. Ed wanted this at 6 feet tall, so we got roughly about 6 feet of height in here, maybe a little bit higher in the back here. Normally I start from the back, work to the sides. If you got any questions, feel free to fire off any questions as I'm rolling through here. Notice it is a white interior on here. You get any fish guts or dirt and debris in here, Dawn dish soap is your best friend. You can try a little vinegar water on the material, but again, nothing with vinegar or ammonia on the clear because that can mar the clear. Easiest way to get these set up or taking it down, just release your zippers, give it a little slack. It's gonna make things a lot easier. It works as a second set of hands, especially on a windy or stormy day. Just get your zippers and or Velcro started. Then you got an extra piece holding on there in case the wind gets you or you get the boat spun around funny. And this is where it gets to be a little bit tricky, working your snaps from the inside of the boat. Can be a little tricky in the chop. That's where the zippers, releasing the zippers when you're either setting it up or taking it down always helps. Try and give yourself about 10-15 minutes to set this up. You see a storm coming over the horizon. What's more important, the fish or being protected? Most guys will say both. And we ran the snaps on the back side of this. We didn't think the snaps would hold very well here.
Good idea.
All right, so now that I just undid it, I'm just gonna kind of show you. Now, if I unzip everything and just leave that top partially zipped.
You mean over here on this side? Leave that up?
I'm just leaving this up here, so let's just say you're fishing by yourself and you want to set this up. It's just a way easier to do everything And there's no right or wrong way to do it. You're probably gonna find something that works for you as opposed to me doing it.
And so you unhooked that before, and now you're hooking it back.
I'm just kind of showing you in reverse that, you know, things are a little bit difficult. You know, if you're in chop, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to do this.
So you're showing me how to put it back on.
Correct.
And you start putting it back on with this zipper up here first?
Correct. Just leave it partially zipped. That's going to give you the slack you need, because on a cooler day, this clear is going to tighten up. I think you've had an enclosure before. This is plastic, so it's going to tighten up. And I'm just kind of hand walking it along. No rhyme or reason to it. You could probably go left to right or right to left, whatever works for you. And then a lot of guys, if they just want the protection and they want to fish out the front or the sides or the back and be protected, they'll just undo some snaps and just flop it over. Then you got your protection and you can still fish out of here. Let's just say you wanted to fish out the side.
Yeah.
You could just do something like this and kind of flop it over and have it partially zipped. Then the whole boat's not getting soaked.
Sure.
You know, or flop it to the inside so the wind's not hitting it.
Okay.
You know.
Yep.
Just gives you more options. But I think you get the picture here. I'm not going to fully do everything here, but in the water, everything's a little bit more complicated. So just give yourself time. 10, 15 minutes is pretty average to get these things set up. If you're in heavy chop, it's going to be a little bit longer than that. So now I'm undoing her right now. I'm going to take the whole aft curtain right off. And then I'll probably show you if you want to go up into the bow area. I kind of use the fishing top as a table. You can use your bow area as well, but if you start getting sand or anything and it hits the clear, you can start scuffing it up, scratching it. But I always just flop it so the material is down, and then I fold the material to the clear. Because you can fold the material, you want to try and do your best to roll the material. Or roll the clear, I should say, excuse me. So once you start getting kinks on it and it's put away for a long time and it's cold, you try and set it up. It's gonna have all them fold lines in there. You're really gonna want the sun to hit it before it really relaxes. I'm folding it up to the clear. Yep. No right or wrong way to do it, you know, just trying not to get that clear up in there. We recommend trying to fold these up with an old towel or sheet, because as you're rolling it up, you're going to have the zippers and everything that can, an old towel, like roll it up, like lay it underneath here. So as you're rolling it up, the towel is kind of going around it, or the sheet is going around it.
So you do it right now.
Correct. Yep, it would be laying on top of the towel. You know, just do my best to try not to kink it. It is going to start falling down if it's sitting around for a while. It starts dipping a little below 50, you know, you get ice inside a rolled up, you know, canvas, then you could be running into issues. But if you're heated year round, you're just fine leaving it in there. Got storage bags here for you. Just putting them inside here. You got one for the aft curtain and then one for the two side curtains. Nothing too special. Most guys normally label these just so they know I'm grabbing the aft curtain. The aft curtain's not up nearly as much as the side curtains. From here, I'm moving on to the side curtains. Here, we got a bunch of extra Velcro wraps on here. That's to keep it from flapping when it's in the wind. You know, unfortunately, we can't get back here, so you might get a little slap back here. A lot of guys, like I said, what they'll do is just unsnap the bottom and they'll just fish right out the back if it's pouring, or fish out the front. But I'm just gonna work in reverse here. If you are fishing on warmer days and you have these attached, this can be like butter out there, so you want to be careful. Make sure you get these all undone before you try and start yumping this down. Because on a hot day, you'll see this stuff kind of feels melty. So again, just working easy, and if you want to make it easier on yourself, especially on a cooler day, unzip it to relax it. And side curtains are probably the trickiest thing to do on the water. You got nice big gunnels, Got these nice big seats too. And again, just kind of hand going. If you can get this set up on the dock before you head out, if it's looking bad, you're gonna be in a lot better shape. Keeping your hand on these as you're unzipping it. If you're in bad weather, I've heard of guys saying they couldn't even turn the boat around fast enough when they dropped a side curtain in the window or in the water because it just sunk. So it just fell in the water and it sunk. The guy's like, I couldn't even turn the boat around fast enough. So I'm doing one up on top here. I'll roll these both up together. So I'm throwing this on top and then I'll undo the other one as well. What do you think? So I'm just undoing all my Velcros, and I'm gonna work on my snaps after that. And of course, you don't have to use all the Velcros, but if you're gonna be shooting across the lake, you know, definitely put those on. And again, just working my way down the side here, trying to get my hand as close as I can to the snaps. Try not to let anybody just rip these down the line here. That's when snaps start coming apart. And then I'm just throwing this right on top of the other one, trying to line everything up. You got these nice wide gunnels that you can walk around on. It might not be so easy to do this when you're on the water, but you can also work from that side too. Lund's a nice boat. So again, just trying to roll them up the best I can. You know, wrinkles are gonna occur, but if you can grab an old sheet or an old towel, this is where you really got snaps and whatnot. It's a lot of clear spanning across. Again, just a nice little roll, and then storage bag for this over here. There it is. There it is. For now, I'm just putting everything off to the side so we're not stepping on everything. From here, it's taking down the top. Oh, what happened here? All right, from here, undoing the top, I'm gonna unroll the zipper. Well, I guess I don't have to do this yet. I'm just gonna undo the snaps, trying to keep my hands as close as I can to the snaps. And there is tension on here. You can see there's a little flex on here. So if you're having issues either taking it down or setting it up, we recommend just releasing one of the legs, releasing the slack on there just so you can get it on or off easier. You and I can probably put a hand on it and undo it or do it, but if you're having issues, feel free to undo a leg to release the tension on it. Here I'm going to release this and then zipper down because that's going to kind of help it wrap around. Doing the best I can to roll it around here. Here's where you're probably going to have some kinks in the clear. So when you're setting this up, give yourself some time for the clear to relax on a cool morning. Otherwise, it's gonna have some wrinkles on it, gonna seem like you're fighting it. So from here, I'm gonna put the storage boot on. No right or wrong way to put this on, I guess, except for inside out. And here's where I'm going to tuck things in as I'm going along here because these are some bigger windows. Just gonna get the zipper started. And from here, I'm just gonna kind of tuck things under the boot. You can always feel free to run something around here, especially if you're doing this by yourself. It's a little bit tricky, especially on a cold day. Just like a Velcro. I can give you some one wrap. A lot easier to do with two guys, so someone can hold it in place. You can always lay.
I probably wrap the strap around before I stick it in there.
Correct. And I'll go get you some pieces of that. Keeping my hand in here so I'm not running the zipper across the clear. But those straps will really help. Little runaway snap here for you. And then from here, this is where she's a little bit more weeble wobbly. So if you are gonna run with her like this, I recommend putting like a strap down or a guideline over your cleat so it's not gonna do this while you're up there on the water, because what it'll start doing, it'll start mucking up your metal where it's mounted, start denting things. So otherwise, just either lay it down flat or store it in your cubby down there.
I mean, you can run with this sitting like this with a tie down back to a cleat?
Correct, yeah, if you tie it off so it's not doing this back and forth, you know, 'cause if you're in chop, that's just gonna start mucking up this. I gotta get you some stanchion keepers here, so let me grab those.
Do I put those on or do they...
I'd leave them on, either leave them on this side or leave them on the back side. They don't float. Yep, just see that button right there?
Yep.
And then just pull that right over the screw, and then that releases the leg right there. And then when you're setting it in there, you always just want to double check it, make sure it locked in place, because sometimes you can get a false positive if you hear it click. So I always just double check it. From here, I'm going to take this side out, and then this will just swing right here. So same thing, when you're doing the last leg here, sometimes it's off kilter, so you might have to find a sweet spot. That one came right out. And so if you did just want to quickly lay her down, she will lay down on the boat right here, but she's going to impede right here. If you do want to run like this, we recommend putting like a tackle box or something in here so it's not just bouncing around mucking up your
Put the box underneath it.
What's that? What box? Yes, correct. So I'm going to unhook her now, and then let's stick her in your floor. Same thing here. So it's just a thumb button. Just unhook it, and then if you're doing it by yourself, you're gonna have to get a little creative so you're not mucking up your interior of your boat. All right, so just pulling up on this right here, and oh, I gotta get that correct angle on it. Well, this is where I might need a little bit of finesse here. Definitely a two-man job there, but you can do it by yourself or when it's laying down as well. So from here, I'm just gonna kind of tuck her in. And I am kind of squeezing it in here. Oh, and one thing I didn't show you too is we made you little leg bags so you're not scuffing up your floor. It's probably gonna catch on that side, but this just is like a sock to go over everything. Is it mandatory? No, it's just a little bit of a bonus feature. Keep it from scuffing up your floor. The fiberglass guys like the bags on there. And it is a snug fit in there, so you still got your width you want to cover outside. And from here, lifting up your little storage cubby. Just pulling her into place. Stores right in the floor there for you. This is your aft curtain. There you go.
Some words of wisdom here. 3 weeks before I got this Bimini top, I was up in Canada, and that's my boat. Had I had this Bimini top on that trip, I probably would have lost the top because I had never experienced 80 to 90 mile an hour winds with my boat tied out. I tried to cover the boat that night with that blue tarp that was weighted down with about 30 pounds, 40 pounds of weights, and you see what happened to it. But had I had the Bimini top and saw that rain cloud coming, I probably would have left it on, and I don't think there's any question in my mind that that very expensive Bimini top would have been ripped off my boat. So I learned a lesson, and quite frankly, in my future trips to Canada, if I see a rainstorm coming, I will not leave the top up because it's too easy to end up with a storm like this. Now, if you want to see a video I did on how to tie a boat out in high winds, go on YouTube and search on how to tie a boat out, and you'll see a video I produced on how we tied the boat out in this storm and never got a scratch on it. But had the Bimini top been on it, we would have lost the top. So in closing, these are the people that I do business with. And I'm going to repeat myself here because this is not a paid commercial. I don't get discounts for listing their names. These are just the people that I do business with. They've given me good service. We've bought more than one boat from Staples Sports, and they're good people.